Fentanyl Fathers is named after homage to MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, because mothers get a good reputation for being the core of making things happen. And fathers, we felt, needed to step up. Plus, it was a way to kind of call them out indirectly and be a little bit more unique. Plus, I'm a dad, and I had the idea to go with it because we knew that this was something within our control that we could go after talking to high school students about it, which was, we thought, the most vulnerable, accessible population in the country. And I had a lot of other bereaved dads that I knew felt the same way. One in particular that I was introduced to, I got a call from a friend, James McNulty, and he said, I have this guy, he's a good friend of mine, and he said, he's not doing well. He said, let's get together, let's meet at a restaurant and talk. And when Jamie came in, I met him. He's a great guy, he's very together, but he was devastated at losing his son, Jack. Jack had taken an unprescribed pill he thought was a Percocet, and he also ordered Xanax, and it killed him in his kitchen. The loss of this guy had Jamie at a loss for motivation to go on. He was just a mess. So when I met him that night, we met at the Marriott Hotel, and there was this immediate connection. We're not the same guys. He's different from me. He's got other talents and abilities, but we really locked in on how wrong it is that we lost our kids and what can we do about it together. At the time, I had connected with a couple of bereaved parents. One was Sandy Snodgrass in Alaska. She lost her son, Bruce, and she introduced a law called Bruce's Law for giving money out for fentanyl education and awareness in the United States. I'd connected with a couple other bereaved parents. I'd gone on this men's retreat. I connected with this guy named Tom who had lost his daughter. Between Tom, myself, and Jamie, we had a core group of people who had lost their children to fentanyl overdose. And we got together and met, and I invited my son Jack to the meeting, but he couldn't make it. And something happened in that meeting where it was the four of us in a Zoom call. We were all locked in at the injustice of losing our kid and the camaraderie of having the same exact problem. We realized that something big could come as this because we confirmed that all four of us felt the exact same way about the injustice that happened to our kids and the opportunity to go out and prevent it from happening to other people. The obvious choice, without claiming to have a vision or some broad scheme, was every high school in the country. Simple Google will let you know that there's 25,077 high schools in the United States. And we looked into how many bereaved parents felt like us. And since 2019, there were 375,000 fentanyl deaths. That puts it in the neighborhood of 750,000 bereaved parents in the United States just since 2019. So we knew that there were enough parents there to get the message out to high schoolers. So we started to get together and said, now we have not only the fellowship of the bereavement, but we have kind of an agenda. What are we going to do? We're going to get the message out to schools. What we didn't know is that high schools did not want us in there. They were like, no, we don't have a drug problem here. And my opinion was that's being complicit with ignorance, and ignorance is what's killing these kids. So what happened is, in the Alaska school district where Sandy was from, here we are in Michigan and spread out a little bit. We picked up another fentanyl father. It's a mom. Her name is Kim Buss out of Sandusky, Ohio. We're trucking along. We've got a good friend from high school, Bob Carey. He's a lobbyist in D.C. He was helping us out quite a bit. He helped us grab the domain and get going. And Sandy said, we had 5 overdoses in our school district. 5 overdoses in our school district. They were reversed, fortunately, but they were high profile enough to be on air. So we learned that now the school district is exposed for fentanyl deaths in the school district, somebody I know. And so we put heat on the local principals to have us in to talk to them about fentanyl awareness and to be proactive and address what had happened there. And then the local news station there, ABC Fox affiliate, did a Zoom call with us and got the story. And we said, we're coming to Alaska. We really didn't know if we were going to go to Alaska. But once that aired, the principals saw it. They said, okay, we'll book you. And we had these mega schools in Anchorage, Alaska. We put together a curriculum which really hasn't changed much. One of the important things that we added was measuring the awareness result. My son has his master's in public health, and he has this behavioral health model where he measures the before and after awareness level through a survey that students take. They take a picture of a QR code and they measure the awareness. We had bereaved parents lined up. Sandy was there, I was there. She had another friend, Stacy, there. And we gave our stories of losing our kids. It really quiets people down in the crowd. What we notice is they put their cell phones down, they listen out of this universal respect of having lost their kids. So we knew the platform of bereaved parent was not only good and healthy for us. The DEA has since told us, hey, if we go in and talk to kids about fentanyl, we're just a cop with a deck talking to kids about drugs. That's a walking cliche that they often can't afford to pay attention to. We, with the children, it becomes a story that matters, if you will, and they tend to really lock in with us. It's almost magic. Rude kids that would normally be chirping at each other and looking at their cell phones, put their cell phones down and lock in on the bereaved parent.
So if you come upon somebody and you see that their vitals aren't there, let's see if I can do this right into the light. Kind of looks like Flonase or something like that. And what you want to do with these is you don't just kind of stick it outside. You stick it as all the way in until the nose hits the square part. And it's just one simple spray. And hopefully you've just saved a life. He was an amazing person, just like I'm sure all of you are, but he made a mistake. And he paid with his life. I call this the ghost that took my son. The thing is, though, is they press these pills and they make them look. What's the difference? How would you know the difference? They make them look exactly like it. That's why I call him the counterfeit killer.
Our message is universal, and we want to basically franchise this out like a McDonald's. There's no cost of admission. We're just looking for a leader in every single state to be responsible for every single county, and then every single school district, and then every single school. And we will not stop until we reach all 25,000. With 110,000 dying a year, if we got to every single high school in the country and quickly, we know that number would be significantly dropped off. Families, another internal call that we have out is stop the sadness. Sometimes you hear this, stop the madness. We're like, stop the sadness. We know that one bullet takes out the whole family. It takes out mom, dad, siblings, friends. It really kills off a lot of hope and joy that you could otherwise have in life with that person present. They think they're taking one thing, it ends up being another. It kills them, and it's tragic beyond, and it's preventable. So Fentanyl Fathers was born out of having a like-mindedness. We loved getting together. We set a time of 6:30 on Mondays, 6:30 p.m. on Mondays. We get together every week. We talk about things, and from there, we've grown with a purpose, and now we're rolling, and we think that we're going to be able to kill off fentanyl demand in every single high school so that a year from today, every high schooler will look at an unprescribed pill as the same as drinking gasoline. And you notice that nobody's having an assembly for not drinking gasoline. They know not to drink gasoline. Well, they need to know not to have this. Number one state is California. Number two state is Florida. but every state is losing roughly between 3,000 and 5,000 kids. Florida is 7,000, California is 10,000, but it's big. And these parents are so sad. And I have such empathy for them that beyond just saving the kid, giving hope and purpose and passion to the pain that these parents experience has been the most gratifying thing personally for me with Fentanyl Fathers. I give a big shout out to my son, Jack, who's a medical expert, who's been really the backbone of us going forward. It's been a family affair. His mother has been on stage talking about Drew, but there's so many people that want to tell their kids' story. We give them a platform to do that and a real impact on kids. And that's the Fentanyl Fathers story.